Well, good morning, afternoon, or night, where the case. I hope you're having a good time. This is geometry class for the PIA. Here is the presentation of team number 10, made by Jesús Gerardo Villarreal Hernández, Carlos Lara Casillas, myself, Luis Eduardo Padrón Hernández, and Gerardo Rebolloso Saucedo. Let's begin with the problem we were assigned. Well, first, we have to do the calculations. They give us an equation that is x squared plus 11x minus 6y plus 15 equals 0. So we have to divide the equation with the x values and the y values. Then we have to complete the perfect square trinomial for x. And how do we do that? We have to find a value that's the half of the value in x, and that's 11. 11 divided by 2, 11 halves. Related to the square, it's 131 over 4. But since it's happening in one side, it also happens to be that we have to add it in the other side. So 121 over 4 is added on the other side too, and we have to simplify it. So minus 15 plus 121 over 4, it's equals to 61 over 4. And now we can simplify the square trinomial for x, ending in x plus 11 halves to the square. Now, what do we have to do? We have to find a common factor in the values of y and the 61 over 4, being the common factor 6. And now we have an equation that looks a lot like the ordinary form. That is x minus h squared equals to 4p times y minus k. And now we can exchange it with our case. What do we do with that? We can obtain the vertex after all, because h and k are the values of the vertex, being minus 11 halves minus 61 over 24. And also, since 6 is the cofactor of the values of y, it means that's the value of the straight side. But we need the value of p to find the focus point. So we need to obtain it. So 6 over 4 is equal to 3 halves. And also we have to assure that the straight side is equal to 6. Now, with the coordinates of the vertex and with the values of p, we can obtain the value or, well, the position of the focal point or focus point. So we add p to the values of y. Why do we do it in the values of y and not the x? Because since we know that x is the one that's going to square, we know that the parable is going or upwards or downwards. And since we know that p is positive, we know that the parable is positive, meaning that goes from up to down and again up. Knowing that, we know that the focus point, if the vertex is here, the focus point must go upwards. That's why we add it to the values of p. Minus 11 halves and minus 61 over 24 plus 3 halves equals to minus 11 halves, comma, minus 25 over 24. And now we graph it in GeoGebra to have a way to show it in a picture. Here's the vertex, right where we expected it to be, and the point B is the focus point. And at the end of the day, we know it's a parable. We have this equation in the ordinary form. We know the vertex, the length of the straight side, and the focal point. With that, I think it's the end of the video. So thank you very much for listening to this presentation. Have a nice day, afternoon, or night.